85% of people prefer text over email and phone calls because they want to engage in a conversation. All text messaging is not equal. Customers respond to people, not bots. Be more like people and start having conversations that end in conversions. Use Scipio.
I'm in a weird spot, Andre, because my wife texted me in the morning and she's like, hey, by the way, a third of our yard is flooded. And I was like, okay. And this is one of those things where if you own a home and you have sprinklers, it's just this thing you deal with is every once in a while you're
There's some flooding.
Well, you just never know if a sprinkler has broken.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, okay, I just have to go dig up a sprinkler, go cap it off and fix a new one. Anyway, it was like a stressful morning.
That is a stressful morning.
But despite that.
What time?
Oh, like right when I woke up.
Like,
I was like,
what does that mean?
Well, that's okay. Sorry.
No.
On my way to work, that's actually what happened. Is that I'm driving to work and she's like, hey, by the way.
That's somehow worse.
Yeah.
It's like you got started, your day was just about to begin.
Well, and there's a moment where I was like, is that our neighbor? Because we're right up against them. We don't have a fence right there.
There's a moment where you could blame someone else.
There's a moment where I could throw them under the bus. Anyway, but it's fixed now, I think.
Great.
So
let's do a quick pre-episode Gibby.
Okay.
The new Ford Bronco.
I'm into it.
I know. Us too.
In a big way.
Us too. It's hard not to be.
Man, there's something.
So when I say Ford Bronco, let's do a word association game. Ford Bronco.
O.J. Simpson.
Yes, exactly.
Well, so here's the thing also is when I think about Ford, I think they've done a really good job of encapsulating like the American, and especially that ad that came out that was like, I'm a Ford guy. I've always been a Ford,
I had the same exact feeling. I was like, wait, I've always loved Ford. No, I haven't.
I really haven't. And as I went through a couple of videos looking at features and stuff, and I was like, I don't love the look of Jeep Wranglers. Like, even though that has been the off-roading thing, totally. I've been like, oh, this actually, I'm surprised this is the first time somebody's really,
But I love it.
I'm into it.
Ford Bronco, good idea.
It sucks that they're like going to be 40 to 50 grand.
I know,
but
it's all wrong for that price point. But if, maybe in like 10 years, I could have a used Ford Bronco.
There we go. Or if we get enough thieves, we become the next Joe Rogan podcast.
Did they sell it in white? They must sell white.
Surely.
Ford Bronco.
Of course.
I don't know. For some reason, I feel like they'd stay away from that. Anyway, let's do a podcast.
Let's do a podcast.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Steal.
Lie.
We're gonna steal the ship.
Commandant, Lord Lieutenant.
An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks.
Well, someone like you would just steal.
Ideas are bulletproof.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Steal this idea.
Hello again, thieves.
We're back.
We are back. And I have to know, Andre, did you... So every time I hear the intro, I think of Ocean's 11.
Yes.
Did you watch Ocean's 11?
I did not watch. They wouldn't...
You could.
So I said... On the last podcast, I talked about how I always want to watch Ocean's 11. I had a group of people there that I thought I could convince, and I couldn't.
Couldn't do it.
But I might do it tonight.
Did any of those other movies from the... So National Treasure?
I do love National Treasure, yes.
V for Vendetta, that's in there?
I haven't seen it.
You've never seen V for Vendetta?
No.
Ooh, put that on your list.
Okay.
Although I feel like I have a memory of you not seeing a lot of movies that I think are good.
I haven't seen very many movies at all.
Anyway. Well, Thieves, we got a good show for you.
We do.
Me and Andre both are bringing a kind of a workshop this idea, and we have a nice idea from a listener. We're going to listen to that and just dissect that. And it's just going to be a good episode. Just one of those like tried and true meat potatoes good episodes.
Exactly.
But before we get into that, Andre, let's start for a little good idea, bad idea. Kick us off, Andre.
So visit this website, Thieves and Scott. It is pinatagrams.com. I forgot how to pronounce pinata, apparently. That's PINATA grams, GRAMS.com. This is exactly what you're picturing, which is a little pinata that you can send right from your browser. It's a little one for $20 with a custom message and flavored candy.
What a good idea.
So what does this make you think of? Because what it brings back for me is some of our earliest episodes of the podcast where we very often did a send a gift.
Oh, that's right.
We did a potato, like a send a potato.
Just like sending bull crap to people.
We sent We did a bunch of episodes where we talked a lot about like send somebody something.
Oh, the open up a thing and it shoots off confetti. We did that
exactly.
one.
And now this is an extension of that. The first new one I've seen in many months.
This falls into that category of like, I would never send one of these to somebody.
You don't
like,
think?
I personally, this is like not the type of thing of like, I want to send Diego a little pinata filled with candy.
Yeah.
But I totally see the person who would, and the price point's there, and it's kitschy and it's just cute enough. Like it's so obvious. It's like, of course, everyone knows those little like handheld pinatas. Everyone knows where they are. It's the right size. Yeah.
I feel like it could be a good boss gift, a good teacher gift.
Oh, sure. Well,
Like
or even like it's like your niece or nephew's birthday, and you want to like,
send them a pinata.
send them a little pinatagram.
Yeah, like really easy. I don't think it's the worst idea.
No, I think it's a really good idea.
I think it's kind of funny.
Is there anything else like that, like the pinata, that you could think of?
See, I went the opposite way. I went, is there anything funnier than candy that you could put in the pinata or more unique?
Well, this doesn't seem it. Well, I guess a little bit. It doesn't seem like it's trying to be super on the nose, hilarious. Like I think.
No, I don't think it's trying to be funny at all. I think it's. Just
You're
trying
saying.
pinata.
Could is a funnier thing a better play? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, could you make a more interesting company
Sure.
with a pinata filled with bees?
Bees. or these are all kind of small pinatas. I wonder, do they sell like?
What if you sold it like the world's largest pinata?
Or what about, you know how they have those things where you can put your face on people's shirts and pillows and stuff?
Yes. The potato was one of those things.
Yeah. You sell a little body pinata, but you can send them a picture of who you want.
Yeah, I like that too.
And then it's like, oh, we're kind of beating up the boss, or we're beating up Aunt Carol.
Well, then it's just like a little funnier than just a pinata.
Right.
A little more unique.
Yeah. Whereas instead of animal cruelty, it's
I feel like pinatas have
brutality.
largely fallen out of style.
Yeah.
As a kid, I feel like you used to see pinatas at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
feel like I spent a little time in the party planning sector.
I know you do.
And I remember looking for funny things, and yeah, even at Walmart, a place that would have lots of stuff has like a pinata, like one or two maybe, and they're kind of like this. They're small. And
Do you think there's room? So complete opposite is there's one. How can we make the pinata more comical? The other end of the spectrum is, could you upscale the pinata and like rose gold and champagne colors?
like fancy it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's an idea.
But
So
I
it's
feel like influencers on
Yeah.
Instagram would have
That's
a lot of fun with a boomerang hitting the pinata.
well, think about too, like baby showers.
Yeah.
Gender
Gender reveal pinata.
reveal. Yeah, where it's like a little classier.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
as
not a
stiff and
donkey, but it's like like I said, rose gold and champagne colored.
yeah.
Something to think about.
I'm into that. Thieves, send us your best pinata ideas. Tweet into us the best pinata idea that you have. I got one here for you, Andre.
Let's do it.
It's a Kickstarter, so I'll put the link in there. But if you search Analog, is what it's called. It's the simplest productivity system. Now, if I just said Analog, the simplest productivity system, and you hadn't seen the website, and I said, tell me what you think this is, you probably have a hard time.
Maybe a clock.
Right.
Yeah.
It can be literally anything. So what this is a notepad of sorts. The idea is it's a really beautiful item. Basically, it's a little wood cartridge that is the size of maybe your cell phone. And inside this wood container has 3 little decks of notes. And it's more like a to-do list, right? So you have a regular to-do list of like 20 cards that are like 10 slots of things. Okay, I got to do this today and this today and this day. And the idea is it's broken up into now, like today, later, and then like someday. Mm-hmm. And so you have like a couple someday cards at the back. You're like, oh, someday I want this. Kind of like long-term goals. And then later it's like, okay, stuff I should, want to keep tabs on. And then the idea is that you would go through one of these every day, and you would like, it has this little kind of prop up mechanism where you take it out, you think, here's the stuff I got to do today. And then you have that sensation at the end of the day, you cross things off, it feels good. And then it stores in this like nice, elegant, it's not some crappy spine, what's it called? Those little
Spiral notebook.
spiral. Yeah. It's not like a spiral bound, crappy notepad thing. It's like a really nice, you would keep it on a desk and it looks handsome. What's the deal, Andre?
All right, Thieves.
You're waffling.
No, I'm not waffling at all. I'm thinking. And here's what I'm thinking about, which is that I was warned by the powers that be not to hate on this idea.
Uh-oh.
Not to ruin the illusion, but very, very seldom. Typically, Scott and I ideate our Gibbies all on our own in our own Instagram feeds. But this was sent to us, group mutually.
Yeah, by a thief.
And I didn't look because I wasn't interested in the product.
Yeah.
Just on face, I was like, I'll let Scott take that one.
Yeah.
So I didn't look at it until now. But with that message, he was like, don't hate on this. But I kind of think it's a dumb idea. Here's why.
Interesting.
So it comes in at $70. And really all it is a little to-do list note card that uses the bullet system, which everybody and their dog can figure out, like can find guides and can find printables on Pinterest and all over the place.
You're getting the wood piece as well.
I know, but the wood piece is nothing special. It's just like a little wood.
I'm sorry, it's mahogany, Andre.
It just props up the card, which I don't even see as that significant.
So if this was cheaper.
What I'm seeing value-wise is like maybe $20.
Interesting.
But to say that the cards alone, for 3 months of the cards, you need to pledge at least $30. That is insane.
Yeah,
they're just printed cards.
It is definitely expensive.
With lines and circles. That's just not reasonable at all.
What's funny about this is, you know how a few episodes ago I talked about Kickstarter pages and the other one, how the websites, like the pages themselves, are like 100 pages long.
Scrolling. This is one of those.
This is one of those. And when you think about what the product is, like it is really simple. Like how can you talk about this thing for that long? And it's like, sure enough, there's just like picture after picture, and every dot that he talks about goes into the philosophy behind it. It's a solid walnut base.
It's attractive. I can't discount that it's a good looking desk ornament.
Yeah. Not for $70 though.
I think it may be for $70 if you're like, I just want something that looks good. It is a productivity system I believe in. Sure. But from a value perspective, it's not there at all.
So when I first saw this, let me see if this product existed, if you'd be on board. When I first saw this, what I thought it was a notepad with a battery pack inside of it. Okay. So like something you could charge your phone. And the idea is that like it's small, and like this is big. This is the size of 2 or 3 phones put on top of each other. But if it was a much smaller thing, but it was basically like a phone charger that had a notepad on top that was like sexy. And I was like, oh, that'd be interesting, where you're kind of always keeping this, like you wouldn't keep a notepad with you, but you would keep a battery pack with you.
Maybe.
To juice up.
Yeah.
Like I know lots of people who do that, who keep like a small pocket-sized, battery charger. But if attached to that was something like this, where you could, maybe it had a little pencil that like connected magnetically or something that like, or snuck in somehow.
No.
Not at all.
I wouldn't buy that. But where I thought you were going to go is, do you recall ever watching in a TV show or something like that, like an old fashioned time clock?
The clock in, clock out.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do you think about that? Like as a productivity thing.
So I
like what? Because isn't there something cool about the visceral? Like,
sure,
you put it in, it punches a little hole, you take it out.
So what you're saying is we rag on productivity, little orbs and balls and dice and things that constantly track time.
But what is it all really about? It's punching in and punching out.
So you have a punch in, punch out, and
and it's attractive and it looks retro.
Yeah, and so it's like I'm coming into work and and maybe there is a smart component to it, like it does track something or whatever. Nothing?
At the end, you just get like this kind of stack of cards that you can analyze.
Interesting. All tangible, all to real world.
And you clock in and clock out. So when you're not working, when you're working.
But would you, after a week, clock in and clock out?
It sounds kind of fun. like the actual element of punching a hole in a card.
Interesting.
Is more interesting to me than like taking my little notepad and writing my to-do list and then coloring in the bubble.
Thieves, I want you to look at this product, and I want you to decide, of the 3 different versions we pitched, which is the product itself, which is just note cards in a wood case, a smaller note card that was attached to a battery pack, or a retro clock in, clock out that had no note taking and no smart capabilities, but was sexy and cool.
And had physically punched the card.
And physically punched, yeah. Which of those? We'll do a Twitter poll. But I'd love to hear from a couple thieves which idea they think is best there, because I'm curious. Diego, do you have any?
I'd like to leave my phone
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
So Diego's saying you want to leave your phone with the punch in.
It's almost like a check your phone in to like be in the moment.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think there's something funny there. All right. I think it's time, Andre, to move on from good idea, bad idea, and move on to segment.
Workshop?
Yeah, workshop this idea. Do we have theme music for that?
I don't know.
We do now.
Love it.
Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So, Thieves, this is, I would say, of all the ideas that we've talked about, easily an idea that almost anyone could start.
Mine too.
Like it is, the ROI is easy. It would be very inexpensive to start. You would need not a ton of resources and capital to like get it off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's basic, and unfortunately, you're gonna have to put on your parent eyes for this, or step into a child's eye on this one.
Okay. Fine.
All right, so let me paint the picture here for you.
Okay, I'm going into the theater of the mind.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite places to visit.
Are you familiar with the difference in structural integrity of like a regular box as opposed to like in my experience, like a car seat box or like a TV, something that's like
There's clearly a
harder
difference between my Amazon box and my TV box.
like harder to break down.
Right. It's like a double corrugated box.
Okay. So you take a corrugated box, and let's say you take a box that is the size of maybe like a big microwave. Could be a little bit bigger. Now you're familiar with Russian dolls.
Yes.
Okay. So similar concept.
Okay. In the theater of the mind,
theater
I'm taking the largest doll. I'm opening it up. I have the second largest doll.
You take that.
There's another.
You take that corrugated box and you fit 1 degree smaller, as many boxes as you can inside this. So you get a box shipped to you with about 10 boxes, all getting smaller and smaller with kind of one box in the middle, right? So this is a company I would call Little Big Box, but you could call it lots of things.
Russian doll box.
Russian doll box. and the idea here is that you order this for your kids or for your family, and what you're getting is a scene. So you flip these boxes over and they're all buildings, or they're all farm animals, or they're targets, or they are vegetation, they're trees, or they're homes with different holes you could cut for windows and doors, right? And because it's thicker, it's not just some chintzy thing. There's an old adage that you give a kid a Christmas present in a box and he ends up liking the box more.
Yes.
That's true to a degree. The degree it's not true is that if it's a crappy box, they don't like it. And if it's not at least somewhat artistically churched up a little bit, they will lose interest in it.
Right.
We bought this bought this car seat, and my wife, she basically put a little roof on it, cut a door in it, cut some windows in it, and it is been played to death.
Yeah.
And we've gone through a lot of boxes, but like that thing has staying power.
Right.
Because they can really imagine themselves in it. They can really come up with fun scenarios with hiding in it, right? So here's what's cool about this. Cardboard, super cheap.
Right.
And if it's $20, right? I buy a kit that gets mailed to my house. I just get a regular box, right? And I take them all out. And because it's four-sided, you're actually getting twice as many options of things you can put on there, right? Maybe you have an upsell of kind of the nicer stuff that's printed on, almost like a TV box is. But even if it's just regular cardboard and you have something that like a sticker or something on there, that would work too. That would keep your costs down. And so, yeah, you come up with a dozen fun scenarios. And basically, I buy one for $20. We play with it for a long time. And then I can stack it all up and put it away really easily. Cleans up nice.
Right.
Or I can just recycle it and buy a new one.
And it's gone. Pretty good idea.
It's a pretty good idea, right?
Yeah. So some of the things that come to mind for me is like every box is a building. The biggest box is a big building. The smallest box is a newspaper stand, whatever.
Yep. And
you kind of use it. I don't know. For some reason, like a kid's toy to me, even if it's kind of shoehorned, should be like educational.
Yeah.
So it's like you teach places in a city, right? With the different size boxes. And it's like I said, the biggest thing is a skyscraper. And we talk about skyscrapers and what they're like. The smallest thing is a newspaper stand. And like we just like recognize like what are things in our environment and what we see in the boxes. And then if it was like animals, it's like we're talking about like when thinking as a
Dinosaur,
child, like
yeah.
thinking what are big animals and what are small animals,
Right.
and like put them in order and
Totally.
like what's the smallest
And these
animal?
can work inside because they're thicker. They can work outside.
Right.
I took a couple.
And you can totally see people like kids.
Yes.
Their boxes are talking to each other. Like there's
Right.
all these
yeah.
different things.
Well,
Right.
and so a lot of them are going to come with places to cut, and I would say in the middle, the bottom box is like a regular box full of stickers,
Yeah.
and full of scripts for scenes and a lesson maybe
Right.
or whatever collateral you want, Velcro strips. Because there's another scenario where you get two of them and you can build a big castle and everything hooks up and you make this
Totally.
cool little thing. Tunnel systems, right? Like you can imagine a lot of cool stuff.
And I like that when you're done, you just throw it away.
You just throw it away.
It's like, no, you don't got to thrift it. You don't have to like.
No, and the price point's cheap enough where it's like if it is $20, you're like, yeah, I'm paying for an experience, just like you would go.
Even if the experience is just like unboxing it the first time, right?
Right.
That's enough. But hopefully we like it and it's fun and we use it a lot.
And I can attest as a parent who has had entertained their child with boxes, something that has just a little bit more done to it. So like this is a picture of a box that's a stove, like an oven, a washing machine, a gas pump, right?
Yeah.
Like
That's all it takes.
And this is like this is some mom did that, right?
It's not
But if-
rocket science.
Yeah, but if you actually had a designer, you say, "Hey, I just need," you spend a weekend with them just designing all this stuff out.
Yep.
You can go to a cardboard factory and have them build stuff for really cheap. Like
Exactly.
your cost per unit would
Your
be
shipping is like very simple,
simple, right?
right? It's like there's one outer box and we put a label on that one, right? And I think it's a great idea. I can't fault any part of it. I think the price point would have to be right. You need a good designer that could make interesting, entertaining boxes.
Yeah.
But on face, a great idea.
Initially, I wanted to call it cardboard, BORED.
Why
But
would you want your product to be associated with boredom?
well, it's like a cure for boredom. But I brought it up to my brother, and he's like, "Well, it's not. It's more about the boxes, less about the cardboard." And I was like, "Okay, fine." So, little big box is what I call that.
I like it.
AR or like QR codes.
Ooh,
Oh,
Diego.
Diego. So Diego just said, what about AR and QR codes? But essentially, so an app that you point at
Oh,
your
man.
box, and now all of a sudden there's stuff springing out of it.
Well, even just sound effects and music, right? Yeah. Like because I often will go to my Google Home and ask Google, what sound does a tiger make? What sound does an elephant make? And my kids love it.
Yeah.
But if there was an elephant box with a little QR code, I could just, it's like,
Pretty fun.
that could be pretty, Diego. That's a pretty.
That was a
good,
great elephant impression
yeah.
also.
Thank you, Andre. What do you got for us?
Great idea.
you.
My ideas in comparison are horrible. So I got to
You
post.
should have gone first, Andre.
I know. Well, that's kind of why I wanted you to go first so I could kind of gauge what the situation was. So I knew if I needed to be humble or... So this is a post that I got on Nextdoor, and I wondered if there was an idea to discuss about it, which is why we're on Workshop This Idea and not the main show. And the subject of the Nextdoor post is, can we rent your yard? Hello, neighbors. This is probably an unconventional request, but we are running out of ideas, and I suppose unconventional problems require unconventional solutions. We are looking for a fenced yard that we can use so that our kiddo can run around on a regular daily basis without the level of distraction that's at the park.
Interesting.
So here, Scott lives in a suburban area where everybody has a yard. But I live in an area where
probably no one has a yard.
Well, people have yards, but I don't have a yard, right?
Right. Well, especially people who live in apartments or just live in a place where it's you just have a great yard for it.
Many cities where just like yards aren't as prevalent and
duplexes and
kind of an interesting idea, which is should there be an app to rent somebody's yard for a day?
Interesting. And I actually really, what's compelling about this is a couple things. So one, there are some yards that have a good tree foliage situation, and so something that was like shaded in the day as like a pro, would be awesome.
Totally.
There are some yards, especially in new houses, that have tracks around the outside for like bikes and stuff, which. Awesome if you can afford that, but like your kids will stop using that at some point. And you're like, well, sure, why not?
Totally.
And maybe wealthy people wouldn't really.
People have basketball courts back there.
Yeah.
People have pools. The whole gamut.
Yeah.
Pools. That's an insurance problem.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I could totally see myself. I mean, if it's cheap, right? Because
It'd have to be a couple bucks.
Yeah, it'd have to be like $5
Yeah.
max.
Because you're always competing with the park.
Yeah,
At
which
the park,
is
there's
free.
people, there's animals, there's water. There's
But if it's $5
definitely
if it's $5 a kid, and you're like, or I don't know, like a family or whatever, and
Yeah.
and like I can get,
$5 a kid like that. The more value you're getting, it's just more expensive versus
Yeah.
the park, which is still just free.
well, I guess I'm trying to think as a someone renting out my yard, like what's it worth to me? And so if I could get 10 kids, running around my backyard, it's like, it's made
That
50.
sounds so.
It does
horrible.
sound bad, I know. That's another thing you have to like get over. It's like, I guess perverts.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But yeah, you're gonna have that.
that's part of why there's an app, right? Is a background check.
a rigorous
Right. Exactly.
background check.
You can see pictures of the yard and scroll through and see if
Because we've moved into rent my car and rent my space and then rent my storage, right? Storage
it seems
space.
natural that you might also rent out your backyard.
Because another add-on to this is dogs. People with dogs. They say, hey, I'd love to like if I'm somebody who is like, whatever, I don't care if there's dogs in my backyard, and like as long as you
Clean up.
I'd rather my dog be in this like big open yard than the gross dog park that has 1,000 dogs and probably diseases and stuff.
Right. All things to be considered.
Yeah.
Rent my backyard. An interesting idea brought to you by Nextdoor.
Parties as well. Like
Yeah.
little birthday parties.
Somebody has a nice little patio and
Yeah. Because that's actually like think about like 4th of July
Mhm.
and all the patios and all the parks. Those have been reserved for months.
for months.
But someone's like, hey, you can stay in my backyard for $50.
I'm leaving. I'm out of town.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Totally. Something to think about.
That's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, I think you sold yourself short there, Andre. I mean,
I didn't come up with it. Some girl on Nextdoor did. She needed it though. I mean, it
Yeah.
at least is one use case.
I would, if that existed, I think I would at least try it.
I would rent your backyard
Because
for a party.
the last thing I think is important is variety. The thing that sucks about kids is that they will play with stuff and then they get sick of it. And you're like, I bought you this, like, or they'll get sick of rooms.
Please love it.
I know,
Love it
or you'll go
longer.
to the same places and it's like they just like they don't find the same. But if you could go to different people's yards with different play sets,
Variety is the spice of life, they say.
spice of life. Okay, well I think we had two pretty good ideas.
Yours
let's-
is substantially better. I almost wish you hadn't brought it. We could have talked more about it.
Well,
Next time.
The thing about so it was almost gonna be a big idea, but it's like I don't know, is it too simple for like?
I think it is just barely. I think maybe if you got with Diego and presented the whole AR,
That's true. Had I heard of that,
because then there's like then we're
well, because
talking
I think
about
we
business.
actually got it to a big idea with
Mhm.
that
I
that
agree.
topped it off, but I didn't have that. I just
No.
had the boxes.
You didn't.
with
You,
art.
you should have Russian dolls.
Okay, let's wrap up the episode, thieves. We have had lots of people call in, leave us messages. And so we want to sync up and play one of those voicemails. Should we give the number? Just in case.
I think let's give the number because you should call
Yeah.
now. Call now. Pause the episode. Call.
That's a great idea. Thieves, pause the episode right now and give us a call because we want to hear your ideas. And what we're going to do is play. This is an idea from a previous guest, Porter, and another previous guest. I think Brian's in the room. And then my sister, Cammie. They're all there. Anyway, the number is 888-416-4332. So
That's 888-416,
4332.
aka idea.
AKA idea. All right, play that idea.
Hey, Scott and Andre. This is Porter, Brian, and Cammie, and we have an idea for you guys.
It's a better piñata.
Yeah, piñatas are cool, but only one person really gets to have the fun. So we think there's a way to make a piñata that allows for more fun for more people.
Have they been listening?
Yeah, there's lots of ways you could do
They're
it.
here.
One idea that we were talking about is just having it sensor based and having it like reusable. So like a hatch opens up, and depending on how hard you've hit it, like it activates a hatch to open, and you have multiple hatches so that it comes out different ways.
That's also green. Less waste.
Right. Also,
Paperweight.
yep. And it's refillable. We also talked about an idea of having like CO2 cartridges in there, so or something, so that it kind of is more explosive.
Yeah.
So
Like-
You
literally
could also
explodes.
have a remote where you have a person controlling the piñata, but then also a person with the remote. And when they kind of want the grand finale, they push the button and the CO2 is released and the whole thing kind of bursts open in some sort of
epic fashion.
Fanfare. Yeah.
Yeah, horns and stuff.
Horns.
That's the idea.
Yeah. All right. Run with it.
What do you think about that?
Terrifying.
It's kinda,
the concept of loading it with CO2 so it literally explodes.
That's a little...
I love everybody in that room, and I love actually the idea.
Yeah.
Minus the CO2 cartridges.
That's pretty eerie that you brought a piñata idea and they submitted a piñata. That's
crazy.
That is crazy.
It's a piñata day. Maybe I should get a piñata on my way home.
So I like the premise, which is piñatas are wasteful, and really, yeah, it's a one person thing. It's like you get it, and once you crack it, it's done.
Totally.
Like it's my piñata, which it's like a birthday thing. So in some situations it makes sense, but I think people like taking turns on piñata. So the idea is this is a more structurally sound piñata that maybe has some sensors in there, and maybe it's like randomized or whatever. So you're like trying to hit it and find the right sensor, and then once you hit that sensor, a little hatch opens up and some candy comes out. And maybe there's like, in my mind, I envisioned like a gumball machine. Or like a mic
breaks perfectly open, I think.
Well, yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is there's basically like 3 different drops. So there's like a little drop and a little drop and then a big drop.
Sure.
So you got to find like the
two spots.
Like the smaller ones, and then finally you find the big one or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really know how you'd engineer that.
I think my idea is better.
Here we go.
Could also be engineered. So in my vision, you get like a game either on your phone or on your Switch or whatever for like $3, a very low price. You put it on your TV and it's connected through your Wi-Fi network.
Okay.
With your piñata, and it has like 5 or 6 different piñata games, right? And there's one where it's like
pin the tail on the piñata.
No, there's nothing like that. There's one where it's like a little spinning wheel. It's like you got to hit it right in the right spot on the wheel, right? So everybody's looking at the wheel and you're like, bam, and you get it right in the green sliver. The piñata breaks open.
Okay. So this is a peripheral.
Yeah. So there's two elements. There's the piñata, which we're hitting.
There's the game.
And then there's some sort of game that we're playing.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's another one that's like hangman or something like that. Like you hit it on a certain letter, guesses the letter, and then if you guess the word, whatever.
Okay.
You're not giving me the kind of perception I want. Anyway, it's a game and a piñata. And like maybe there's one that is a like hit meter, where you hit the thing and then it goes. It's like you hit it, and if you can hit that little bell at the top, then that's how you know it'll open. And now your reusable piñata has reusable games behind it.
It's not just hit the piñata.
You break it out for different holidays, different birthdays. Probably reusable.
You probably couldn't call it Viva Piñata though.
No, that's in use. What's weird is I made a Viva Piñata joke just the other day. This is a weird world we're living in right now.
That's like the secret where everything just coincides. Like you think about stuff and things happen.
Yeah. The Mandela effect.
I was going to say the other iteration, which is more toward the latter end of the idea, which is what if instead of a piñata that's hanging on a tree, what if you had a piñata that was almost not like a hoverboard, but something that was like scurrying around the yard and you're like trying to like catch it.
I like that.
It's almost like a chicken.
Yeah.
And so you're like running and like trying to like knock it off its wheel or something, or like knock it down or pin something on or whatever. So you have this, and if you do it, then it opens up and there's a tree inside. But it's like maybe kind of flipping the piñata on its head a little bit.
I like that. Yeah, I wonder if the tech would work.
Well, think about like an RC car.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know, but it's an RC car that has to carry a load, right?
And they have some big RC cars.
No, you're not wrong. But they're like hundreds of dollars.
No, not anymore. I mean, some are.
Woody, our old boss, was really into RC cars. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but he's into like the custom ones that race on tracks. Like you can get an RC car that is the size of a dog for like $35.
The size of a dog.
I'm dead serious.
Don't tell lies in the podcast.
I'm going to put one in the show notes.
All right, Beaves. We'll see. Anyway, if that's possible, then I think an RC car that you kick and then it releases a prize, very fun idea.
But I think a better piñata in general.
Picture your kids like little geese running around the yard after a ball. Like, it'd be fun.
Yeah. Or like almost like a BB-8. Something like rolls around and you're like trying to get it.
Exactly.
I think it's a good thought exercise, thieves. I think a better pinata, just put that up on a whiteboard in a room. I bet you could probably come up with a dozen ideas. That's like a fun exercise, I think.
Yeah. Do that with everything. Do that with everything you see. Really, though, like that's kind of like what this podcast is. And then call us with your good ideas that you don't think you could do, but somebody could do. It's like look around and think like, could I make a better
X?
A
better backpack?
A better backpack.
Andre already came up with a better
We did that one.
A better
episode.
A better porta potty?
Last
I already
pack.
came up with that.
Oh, that's VIB.
This is another plug. We'll probably at some point highlight some of our older episodes because there's some gold.
Some gold in those hills. Back in that episode 1 to 10.
1 to 15, I would say.
Yeah.
There were some good ideas. You know how artists, their first album is always their best album.
Yeah. That's us.
That's us. Like the first 15 episodes, there's some real parts of us in some of those episodes.
Sometimes I wish I had brought more of my good ideas later in the podcast after we had a bigger following.
Well, what I want to do is make a segment called Resell Your Idea, where you have to come up with a new component to it and then re-pitch to the thieves so it's fresh, you know. So for the thieves who have been with us since the beginning, they're not like, oh, here we go.
Somebody out there is like, City Jump.
City Jump.
I want City Jump. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and listen to episode 2, City Jump.
Thieves, this has been a great episode.
It has.
If you want to reach us, go stealthisidea.com.
Or give us a call at a number 888. Scott knows.
888-416-4332. Please give us a call and leave us a message. We want to hear your beautiful voice and play it on our episodes. Follow us
on all of the social media at Go Steal This Idea on Twitter and Instagram. We have a Twitter poll going up after this episode about something at the beginning of this episode that I don't remember anymore.
It was the productivity.
What productivity tracker do you prefer? Vote on Twitter. Find us at Go Steal This Idea. Find us on Instagram at Go Steal This Idea. I think that's basically everything.
We got some new merch. That is like
shirts coming soon at GoStealThisIdea.com.
We're going to have 2 different shirts and a sweatshirt and some new stickers and a poster.
Everything is coming up.
A signed
Millhouse.
poster.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Anyway, thieves, this has been a great episode. Please share us to your friends. And really, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Use Scipio, the #1 engagement tool for sales teams that want more responses, appointments, and conversations. Message your leads and customers where they are on their phone. I'm not talking about phone calls. We're talking about true one-to-one texting. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. See you later, thieves.